Hey there, Aquarius. How are you doing today? I'm so happy you're joining me for your comprehensive tarot reading, relevant for the first half of May 2025. I've cleared the energy in this space and meditated on your cards, connecting to the vibrations that resonate with your Aquarius spirit. Let's kick off by unlocking the affirmation that's whispering to you most clearly now. I will not stop until I win. This phrase has selected you, so say it with me, either in a whisper or with confidence, and let its peaceful energy envelop you. I will not stop until I win. I will not stop until I win. Now, let's begin your reading by drawing the 3 key tarot cards that will guide you through these 2 weeks. We have 5 of Swords, Justice, and 4 of Cups. Accompanying these is the Oracle card Phoenix from the Spirit Animal Wisdom deck. As for your tea leaf fortune card, it is Hand. The 5 of Swords often shows up when you've been through a verbal battle or an argument that left you feeling uneasy. Maybe you said something in the heat of the moment at work or in a friendship, and now you're second-guessing your words. One possibility is that you're noticing a fallout from a debate you had in April. You might be replaying scenes in your head, what you said, how they reacted, whether it was worth it. Have you brushed off the awkwardness by telling yourself it's no big deal? Or is there a nagging sense you could make amends? As an Aquarius, you prize fairness and honesty, so this card could be nudging you to weigh what true victory looks like. Is it more important to be right or to restore harmony? Picture yourself in a meeting where you pushed your idea strongly, only to see tension build. What if instead you paused, asked others how they felt, and invited collaboration? Could that approach save you distress down the road? Pair that with Justice, and we see a real call for balance. Justice isn't about punishment so much as it is about clear sight, accountability, and the ripple effect of our choices. In real life, you might be facing an important decision around mid-May, perhaps whether to sign a new lease, take on a leadership role in a community project, or even how you allocate your hours between personal freedom and family commitments. Think back to a time you flipped a coin to decide something big, only to regret it later. Justice is asking you to gather the facts and trust your own impartial wisdom. As an Aquarius, your gift is the ability to see the big picture, to weigh pros and cons without getting mired in emotions. So lean on your natural objectivity here. What information might you be overlooking? Could you journal out the possible outcomes to gain clarity? Now imagine those swords' tension easing into the 4 of Cups. Here's a friend in a quiet garden, staring at 3 cups and ignoring a 4th that someone gently offers. It's as if you've been so preoccupied, maybe with the fallout from that 5 of Swords conflict or the weighty justice decision, that you have tunnel vision. The 4 of Cups could show up in a social setting. You're at a gathering or an online chat, and someone reaches out to include you in a fun plan, but you shrug it off. Or at work, a project lands in your lap with fresh possibilities, but you feel numb or disconnected. The interesting part is, you're in control. You get to decide whether you're bored, dissatisfied, or simply need space to regroup. As an Aquarius, you value your independence and freedom, so it's natural to step back sometimes. But ask yourself, is this genuine disinterest, or could it be a call to open your mind to a surprising opportunity? I hope you're finding this reading meaningful. Let me know with a like and subscribe to the channel. Into that mix steps the Phoenix, breathing fire under your sacral and solar plexus centers. That means whatever chains or doubts have been holding you back, the fear of speaking up after that fight, the hesitation around making a big choice, the apathy in response to new offers, is ready to be burned away. Imagine feeling a warm glow rising in your belly, spreading into your heart, and leaving you charged with courage and passion. Maybe you'll pick up a long-abandoned creative project, or you'll finally speak your truth to that friend, or at that community meeting. Remember a time you felt stuck, then decided to try something wild, like taking a spontaneous road trip or launching a side hustle, and how that shift rekindled your spark. What embers of your own creative freedom need fanning right now? And then there's the hand in the tea leaves, stretching up as if asking, "May I help you?" This card reminds you that asking for support is not a sign of weakness, but a bridge to unexpected blessings. If you find yourself tangled in the justice decisions or nursing the sting of the Five of Swords, consider who in your circle could lend perspective. Maybe a coworker who's navigated a similar conflict, or a friend who's rocked their own creative rebirth. It could even be a professional mentor or a supportive online community of fellow Aquarians. Reflect on a moment when you struggled alone and later reached out. Did things shift once you broke the isolation? Putting it all together, here's the blend. You're invited to acknowledge any recent tensions, own your role, and seek the real justice in the situation. Then, notice if you've been sidelining fresh offers or new directions out of habit or fatigue. Once you see that, let the Phoenix energy ignite your confidence and motivation to step forward into what excites you. And as you fan those flames, reach out your hand. Ask for feedback, collaboration, or simply a listening ear. Maybe you'll find that the argument you had wasn't worth the bridge it burned. You'll weigh your options with cool Aquarius logic, then realize there's more on the table than you first thought. A community project, a creative class, an unexpected invitation to lead. Your natural humanitarian drive can transform any lingering discord into a chance to unite people around a cause. Picture hosting a small group gathering in your living room where you facilitate an open dialogue about the project. Who would you invite? What questions would you ask to spark that collective imagination? By May 10th, you could notice a shift, the heaviness from the Five of Swords dissolving as you experience justice in action. You make a fair choice, extend an apology, or set clear boundaries that feel right. Around May 12th, the Four of Cups may push you inward again. So check if you're shutting doors on golden cups being offered by colleagues or friends. And by the 15th, let the Phoenix blaze through any last doubts. This is prime time to launch that new idea, speak up in that meeting, or plan a creative adventure. Along the way, ask yourself, when I think about that recent argument, what would true victory look like for me? How can I gather all the facts before deciding on that new opportunity? Am I noticing the cups of possibility being offered, or am I stuck in my own thoughts? Where do I feel a spark of creativity itching to break free, and who can I call on to stoke that flame? You're an Aquarius, visionary, inventive, and fiercely independent, yet you also thrive in community. This first half of May is your chance to blend all those gifts. Forgive what needs forgiving, balance what needs balancing, open to what's been overlooked, and let your inner Phoenix ignite a next-level version of you. And remember, it's perfectly okay, even beautiful, to raise your hand for help. I can't wait to hear how you'll fan your own flames, Aquarius. What if unlocking abundance was as simple as pressing play? The Money Wave is designed to reprogram your mind for wealth. Don't miss out. Check the link in the description. Now let's turn our attention to the central theme of love and relationships. Your true love oracle card is Soulmates, and the tarot card is Strength. Strength is all about that gentle power, taming your inner lion rather than wrestling with it. In a love context, you might recognize a moment when your jealousy or fear of vulnerability roared up, maybe when your partner was late or when someone new showed interest. Strength says you don't have to lash out or shut down. You can breathe, acknowledge the feeling, and choose a kinder response. Picture yourself in a quiet conversation. Instead of snapping, "Where have you been?" you might say, "I noticed I felt uneasy today. Could we talk about it?" That honest, calm approach can turn tension into understanding. And if you're single, Strength reminds you to be brave enough to show your true self on a first date, even if it feels risky. Now, the Soulmates Oracle doubles down on authenticity. It's saying that whether you're seeking a partner or nurturing what you already have, the real magic happens when you drop masks and pretenses. Think of that time you pretended to like a certain movie or hobby just to fit in. Did it help you bond? Or did you worry they'd find out the truth later? Soulmates tells you that the right person will love your quirks, your offbeat jokes, your late-night muse sessions, your tendency to change plans on a whim. As an Aquarius, your originality is your gift, but sometimes you might hide it to avoid rocking the boat. This card says the boat that's meant for you will sail just fine in your unique colors. Tie that to the general theme. you've already been mulling over where you need to make amends or seek fairness. In love, maybe you're still carrying guilt from that Five of Swords conflict. You snapped at someone you care about. Justice wants you to balance the scales, own your part, and offer a sincere "I'm sorry." Strength steps in by giving you the courage to do it in a way that feels true, not defensive. Imagine texting them, "I've been thinking about how I reacted, and I'm sorry. It wasn't fair. Would you be open to talking?" That blend of accountability and gentle assertiveness can transform guilt into fresh trust. If you're in a longer-term relationship, the Four of Cups energy might have you feeling bored or disconnected, like you're sitting in front of those 3 cups of routine while someone offers a 4th new gesture. Soulmates encourages you to speak up about what feels missing. Maybe it's simple. Plan a quirky at-home date night themed around your partner's favorite childhood cartoon. Or share a vulnerability you've kept tucked away. Strength will be your backbone in those conversations, so even if they surprise you with feedback, you can stay composed and curious rather than retreating into silence. And don't forget the Phoenix's fire. This is the moment to spark fresh passion. Maybe you've been tiptoeing around a creative project you once did together, like painting, writing, or building something. Bring it back. Let your shared laughter and collaboration reignite your bond. Picture the warmth fanning up from your belly, spreading to your heart, and lighting your interactions with playfulness. Ask yourselves, what was the last thing we did that made us feel alive as a duo? Could we recreate that magic this week? The hand in the tea leaves reminds you it's okay to reach out for support as you navigate these love waters. If you're single, maybe a friend can set you up or offer feedback on your dating profile. If you're coupled, perhaps a therapist or a couples workshop could give you tools to communicate more openly. Strength isn't about shouldering everything alone. It's about knowing when to flex your muscles and when to invite another hand to steady you. So Aquarius, here's the heart-centered roadmap. Recall any recent sharp words and use justice to make it right. Let strength guide you to speak and listen with calm courage. Watch for the cup you've been ignoring. What fresh expression of love awaits? Fan the Phoenix flame by bringing creative joy into your love life. Be wholly yourself. Just as soulmates urges, knowing that authenticity repels the wrong connections and magnetizes the right ones. And be unafraid to raise your hand when you need perspective or help. By mid-May, you may find that a tough conversation turns into a moment of deep closeness, or that your willingness to show up exactly as you are attracts someone who feels like a mirror to your soul. Whether you're single or partnered, think of this time as your chance to claim genuine connection, one that's balanced, brave, and brilliantly you. What's one small truth you've been holding back? How could you share it and feel your heart open? Give yourself permission to find out. And now, the cards are ready to reveal insights about your career and education. Your Dreamweaver's Oracle card is When You Feel the Magic Sing. And the Tarot card is Page of Swords. The Page of Swords brings that spark of curiosity and the thrill of new ideas. You might notice yourself buzzing with questions about a project at work or a topic in class that suddenly makes you lean forward in your chair. Maybe you're drafting an email to your boss or professor packed with thoughtful queries, or you're diving into research on your own time because something clicked for you. This card can show up when you're the one in the meeting who asks, "But have we considered?" or the student who stays after class to unpack a tricky concept. It's a sign that you're ready to sharpen your mind and speak up, but it also asks you to mind your tone. Have you ever shot off a message in the heat of an idea only to realize later it came across as brusque? The Page of Swords invites you to channel that mental energy into clear, respectful communication. Who in your team or study group could benefit from your fresh perspective? Where might you need to pause and really listen before jumping in with a response? Now pair that inquisitive energy with the Oracle's promise of a magic sing moment. This card heralds that flash of insight when everything aligns. You suddenly see a hidden solution, feel a warm glow of confidence, and know you're exactly where you need to be. Maybe it happens during a late-night brainstorming session. when the answer to a stubborn problem pops into your head and time seems to stretch as you jot it down. Or perhaps it comes sitting in a lecture, when the speaker mentions just the concept you've been hunting for, and your heart gives a little ping. That feeling is your partnership with Spirit or the universe, reminding you that you're supported on a higher level. The trick is to notice it and then to lean into it. When that inner light bulb goes on, you might get the nudge to enroll in that advanced workshop, pitch a bold idea to your team, or switch your major to something that truly sparkles your interest. What was the last time you felt that surge of clarity, and how did you act on it? Are you keeping a little notebook or voice memo handy to capture those rushes of inspiration? Blend those two together against our general May backdrop. Suppose at work you've been carrying tension from some curt emails, 5 of Swords. Maybe you lashed out in frustration over deadlines. Justice would have you step back to assess. What deadlines are realistic? What's within your control? Page of Swords says you have the sharp mind to map out a clearer timeline, ask precise questions of stakeholders, and advocate for what you need. The 4 of Cups might have nudged you to ignore an online course a teammate recommended. Meh, not now, you told yourself. But remember the Oracle's call. That course might be the spark that makes the magic sing, and the Phoenix is roaring at your core, ready to fuel your focus and drive. Don't be shy about reaching out for help too. Lean on that hand card and ask a mentor to review your project plan, or ask classmates for tips on tricky exam questions. If you're a student, perhaps you felt stuck in a writing assignment or a dense textbook chapter. The Page of Swords urges you to outline your questions and send them to your professor, or to form a study group where you can debate and dissect the material. Justice encourages you to treat your own effort fairly. Maybe you need to carve out specific study hours rather than winging it at the last minute. And the Oracle promises that moment when it all clicks. You'll be reading a paragraph and suddenly see how it connects to your thesis. Or you'll sketch a diagram that makes the theory crystal clear. That's the universe checking in to say you're right on track. What strategies have helped you capture those aha moments in the past? Could you set an intention each morning to stay open to that spark, and then note down any flashes of insight as they come? On the career side, you might be considering a pivot, learning a new skill, or exploring a different department. The Page of Swords is your green light to ask targeted questions in informational interviews, to test the waters with a short online course, or to volunteer for a cross-functional project. You'll want to balance that enthusiasm against potential distractions, though. It's easy to chase every shiny opportunity, but Justice reminds you to gather the facts: time commitment, learning curve, potential payoff. When you feel that magic sing, maybe in a conversation with someone in your desired role, or when you watch a tutorial that lights you up, that's your cue to double down. Who can you talk to for real-world insight? What concrete steps can you take once the inspiration hits? And remember, you don't have to go it alone. Whether it's signing up for office hours, tapping into career services on campus, or finding an online peer group, that hand is waving at you. Sometimes the simplest move, dropping into a mentor's calendar or posting a question in a professional forum, opens the door to support that amps up your progress. Strengthening your network doesn't dilute your independence. It multiplies it. By mid-May, look for signs of real momentum. You might deliver a presentation or submit an application feeling unusually calm, because you've armed yourself with clear questions and thorough prep. Or you'll sit down to study and discover the material finally feels intuitive, as if you've tapped into a reservoir of insight you didn't know you had. When that happens, pause and savor it. Acknowledge that this alignment is more than luck. It's proof you're walking the right path. So as you move through these next few weeks, keep your mind sharp like the Page of Swords. Stay open to those surprise moments when the magic sings, and trust the phoenix fire that's burning under every step. Balance your bold questions with a fair assessment of your resources, and don't hesitate to reach out when you hit a knot. This blend of keen intellect, inspired insight, and supportive connection is exactly what will carry you forward in your career and education. What question will you ask today? And how will you make space to catch that next flash of brilliance? Moving on, Let's take a look at the opportunities surrounding your personal and spiritual growth. Your self-care wisdom oracle card is Reassess, and the tarot card is Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is all about teamwork, mentorship, and honing your craft. Imagine you've signed up for a creative circle, a meditation group, or even a mastermind for personal development. You and a couple of peers meet regularly, each bringing a different skill. One might guide breath work, another shares journaling prompts, while you contribute insights from your own heart. Together, you're building something richer than any of you could alone. Think of a time you learned more by working alongside someone experienced, like a friend showing you how to troubleshoot a tricky software, or a colleague walking you through a new process. That's the energy here. Collaboration sharpens your abilities, deepens your understanding, and boosts confidence. Whether you're refining a morning routine, experimenting with a new self-care ritual, or studying spiritual texts with a partner, this card says your growth will multiply when you pool resources and perspectives. Then there's Reassess, which simply reminds you that you have every right to change your mind. Maybe you signed up for a workshop on chakra healing, but realize halfway through, you're more drawn to creative writing as a form of meditation. It's easy to feel locked into a commitment once it's on your calendar or you've told friends. This card gives you permission to pivot, gently, without guilt. Remember that time you dropped a hobby because it no longer fit your life, only to find a new passion that felt like home? Imagine giving yourself that same freedom now. What practices or partnerships feel stale? Where might your inner compass be nudging you to take a new turn? Fusing these messages, picture yourself in a small group, maybe a weekly video call where you each share a personal goal. You're building momentum together, laying the groundwork for a new habit or spiritual discipline. But as you dive in, you notice your heart isn't fully in the original plan. That's your cue to speak up and reshape the process. Perhaps you suggest swapping one journaling prompt for an art-based exercise, or you ask the mentor to include a stretch break because your body needs it. Your openness to change, guided by Reassess, doesn't derail the collective effort. It enriches it. And as an Aquarius with a natural flair for innovation, you're in a sweet spot. Your fresh ideas can elevate everyone's journey. Link this back to the general reading. If you felt friction in a collaborative setting, now's the time to apply justice, redistributing roles fairly, acknowledging everyone's contributions. If you've been ignoring invitations to join circles or classes, check if you need to reassess your interests. Maybe the timing was off, or the format didn't spark you. Let the Phoenix's flame fuel your commitment to what truly lights you up. And lean on the hand by asking for a friend's feedback or a mentor's guidance when you need to pivot. Practically, between May 1st and 15th, you might launch a small accountability group. Then around day 5, realize you'd all connect more deeply with a creative sharing hour rather than a lecture format. Speak up, adjust the agenda, and watch enthusiasm surge. Or you could book a spot in a sound healing workshop only to feel drawn instead toward breathwork. Feel free to switch classes or supplement with online tutorials. Reassess honors that you're allowed to refine your path. On the personal front, you might be building a habit of morning pages, but notice it feels forced. Invite a friend to join in and swap written entries for voice memos, experimenting until you find the rhythm that feels alive. Spiritually, you could start a chakra clearing routine you learned online, then discover you resonate more with guided mantra meditation. Offer to co-lead a small group focusing on sound healing instead, inviting others to grow with you. Each iteration brings you closer to what truly nourishes your soul. By mid-May, you'll see real progress through this blend of collaboration and flexibility. You'll feel proud of the foundation you've co-created and liberated by the freedom to tweak as you go. As an Aquarius, your gift is envisioning what could be. Use that vision to both build and polish your practices. Ask yourself, which part of my plan needs an upgrade, and how can I invite someone else's insight to make it better? This is your moment to construct something meaningful, while honoring the power you hold to change course whenever your spirit calls for it. Enjoy the process, embrace the evolution, and let this first half of May be a time of shared breakthroughs and soulful pivots. In conclusion, I'm sensing a real turning point for you in these first 2 weeks of May. A mix of clearing the air, finding solid ground, waking up to fresh chances, and tapping into a fiercer version of yourself. It feels as though you've been carrying the weight of old arguments or stinging words, maybe beating yourself up over something you said, or feeling caught in someone else's unfairness. But I'm seeing that you're stepping back now, weighing out what actually matters, and rediscovering the peace that comes from standing in your own truth. There's this strong thread of don't miss the cup that's being offered. It could be a new friendship, an invitation to speak up on a project at work, or a course that's been sitting in your inbox. If you've been shrugging it off, not now. You might suddenly realize just how exciting it really is once you pause the inner noise and take a sip. Have you ever ignored an event only to find out later it was exactly what you needed? What might happen if you said yes this time? I also see you gathering courage, like you've been fanning embers inside you that have been lying dormant. Maybe you'll pick up a pen you haven't used in ages, finally speak your piece in a meeting, or plant seeds on a passion project you've been afraid to start. That spark in your belly is real, and it's pushing you forward. Can you feel how your creative fire rises when you let go of the doubt that's been holding you back? At the same time, there's this gentle reminder that you don't have to go it alone. You've got that instinct to reach out, to raise your hand, to ask for direction or advice. Whether it's a colleague's feedback on your new idea, a friend's ear when you're replaying an awkward conversation, or a mentor who's walked this path before, calling in support will make all the difference. When was the last time you let someone else in, even just a little, and found the load get lighter? When it comes to love and relationships, you're learning that real power is quiet strength. Instead of reacting from fear or insecurity, you can choose to speak from a place of calm confidence. Imagine telling someone you care about, "I felt hurt when that happened, can we talk about it?" rather than lashing out or shutting down. And if you're single, picture being brave enough to show up exactly as you are, quirks, weird jokes and all, and watching the right person gravitate toward your genuine vibe. What part of you have you been hiding, and what might open up if you let it shine? Over in your work or studies, your mind feels sharper than it has in a long while. You might catch yourself firing off smart questions, poking holes in assumptions, or chasing down ideas that light you up. And then, out of nowhere, you'll have one of those lightning bolt insights that makes you realize the path's been right in front of you all along. Do you have a little notebook or voice memo ready to capture that flash? Because it won't wait around. Your personal and spiritual growth is getting a boost from collaboration too. Think of the times you've learned most, shoulder to shoulder with someone who knew a little more, or in a circle where everyone pitches in their best. But here's the thing, you always get to change your mind. If a workshop isn't resonating or a routine feels stale, you can gently pivot to what truly calls you. When did you last give yourself permission to steer off course? And what new territory might you discover if you do it now? And above it all comes that bold statement you've chosen as your mantra, "I will not stop until I win." It's like a banner flying behind you, reminding you that every step counts, even the ones that feel awkward or slow. It's urging you to keep knocking on doors, keep firing off emails, keep putting your work and your heart out there until it lands where it's meant to. I truly feel that by mid-May, you'll hit a moment where everything you've been juggling clicks into place. You'll realize that clearing the tension with someone didn't just smooth the air. It opened space for fresh joy. You'll notice that a course you almost skipped gave you the exact breakthrough you needed. You'll see that the idea you feared sharing became the spark that lit up a whole team. And you'll feel that warm glow of standing fully in your own power, backed up by friends, mentors, and that guiding inner voice that just keeps cheering you on. You've got the mind to strategize, the heart to feel deeply, and the courage to step forward even when it's scary. Trust that every question you ask, every yes you muster, and every hand you reach for is building toward your win. Stay open, stay fierce, and know that nothing about this journey is wasted. You're on your way, and you won't stop until you triumph. Did this reading give you clarity? If so, please like and subscribe.